trace on, as they would say. And now, as this duel once again is heating up for me to wonder, are we giving the ultimate despair or are we giving a faint glimmer of hope? I don't know, I was actually hoping every member of this team would be able to cook so that we at least can see Megami win one. Yes, this is the Shokugeki no Soma chapter 224. As Kuga now begins to cook his things for real. He first he creates an improvised smoker for some pork, as he well, the reason for this is he plans to smoke with tea leaves. The black man judge realizes that what he's using is something called Hong Shao, which is a Chinese cuisine that involves shimmering soy sauce based broth to add richness after searing the ingredients. Up until this point, he was frying the pork shoulder. Roast to cook its surface, but now he intends to smoke the roast pork instead of braising it, therefore creating a new kind of dish. So, and that by doing so, the smoke will directly imbue the ingredients with the tea leaf fragments. So he basically is creating a pretty unique dish when it comes to using tea leaves, but intriguing nonetheless. So he then adds the black liquid into another frying pan, something he calls death sauce. It's a balsamic vinegar condensing flavor and aroma. And it's basically smoked soy sauce. Ibusaki reveals that Mimisaka smoked it in a work on his own counter. Basically, when the soy sauce is smoked with chips that have the rounded fragments, the mellowness of its flavor is accumulated and the lingering aftertaste gains much greater depths. So basically that's what his teamwork was, to add in a more of a thing all. But the white man judge is begin to wonder, will Mimisaka, even though he is certainly doing impressive teamwork, he is also wondering how is he faring against his own opponent. And that is true, as we see the first glimpse on what Saito Some's speciality is. And it is sushi. I guess I should have seen that coming, given his personality, clothes, and not to mention the fact that he carries a samurai-like butcher knife. But note, the one thing they're cooking is tuna, and his speciality is sushi. Once again, fate have thrown a very funny feeling. All the three, if not the two of them, were specialities more directed towards the Elite Ten, and once again we have that. I believe in fate, but I sometimes don't know if I'm to say I don't believe in coincidences either. It's more like, this is a very funny coincidence. Is fate really playing with the rebels in order to show everything else that the rebels can overcome what is not their specialities? Or is this rigged after all? Right now it seems like fate is really playing for the rebels to show that they won, despite the fact these not being their specialities. And I will like that. I'm just saying, I would have liked an explanation on why it comes like everyone has a bad luck. So Saito declares that even if it was ill fortune, he will not show mercy. As the rebels once again panics, I gotta say it's pretty damn disgraceful for them to always panic. I mean, I would panic too, but that's beside the point. What I'm saying is, do they have to panic every single time? Can't they just have faith in their teamwork of the rebels? I mean, they're here on the stage for a reason, you know. As so, Mimisaka, and we see a glimpse of Mimisaka and Tosuke's cooking. And what is Mimisaka doing? Well, he's basically doing just the exact same thing, even using a similar kitchen knife sword. And when Saito shows his hamming him by saying "hi" and "ka," Mimisaka copies that up to the T. He is basically, we all know he's a perfect trace and can all memorize the movements. But this is a new and improved perfect taste. He's not exactly just copying the abilities and the personality and everything else of the one who cooks. No, no, this time he memorizes it basically, and then he follows it just like a camera will take a picture, or a film would film a scene. He is basically doing that scene completely similarity. He is calling that perfect trace flash. He reads his opponent's motions and in the thought process in an instant, and that is how it explains like a flash of a camera strobe. And then he replicates it with his own hands. So this is a combination of geniusness and physical abilities. He and in I mean instinct. He follows it all. I have to say, Mimisaka is really amazing that way. And to think people at the begin and to think his father at the beginning didn't call him a genius. I mean, can you follow someone with almost perfect movements just with reading the opponent's motions and thought process alone? Even the black cooking judge is impressed by this, saying like. He spent zero time thinking about the cooking process, and instead was when Saito was considering his recipe, he used that time to support Kuga. It's a perfect teamwork ability. If there's anyone who can ability do teamwork while at the same time memorize everything else, it is Mimisaka. But he is just copying Saito Some right now. Is he doing something else? Oh, who knows? But basically, Tsukasa is now against two cooks at the same time. Maybe Tsukasa can win against one cook on one-on-one. But can he win against two cook one-on-one? I hope now, at the beginning I actually wanted Kuga to lose. But now, when we're in this situation, I no longer want him to lose. Because if he loses, then we're gonna be thrown into ultimate despair. Kuga himself acknowledges this by saying like, he don't care... you don't want to prioritize his own proud over everything else. So this is basically all for his underclassmen. He is going to make it easier for them to take everyone down. And his role and role alone is to take down Tsukasa, as he declares to Tsukasa, your long road of victories will end here. And Tsukasa can only look disappointed and say like, you've thrown away yourself, even though you have changed somewhat from the old Kuga. The real match begins now. Yeah, that's basically this chapter. We saw some glimpses of Mimisaka now. Once again, Mimisaka shows some impressive acting skills. I mean, damn. I wonder how many hours he spent to try and practice that. But he's the best one to the teamwork. Still wonder though if he's the only one who's going to do the teamwork. Okay, so is Kuga really going to win against Tsukasa after all? And if he does, then what about the other two? Will Rindo win after all? I mean, right now it only seems she is the only likely one. But Somisato, will he win? I don't know, but let my girl Megami and Takumi, and then let the guy Takumi cook and let them win. After that, you can let all the Elite 10 loose, I don't care. So that's basically this chapter. All in all, a perfect trace on, as you would say, right? Give me your thoughts if you have any.